Hello, another windy day. Can you tell I haven't had my hair cut since November? The wind's not doing me any favours. Okay, today is going to be sowing day. So anything, I'm going to go through all my seeds, anything that can be planted sown direct outside, I'm going to try and get in because I've got a lot of bed space now. The bed immediately outside here, I'm going to save a third of that for sweet corn later on, and I might portion certain parts of certain beds for stuff that I've got growing in the greenhouse. Apart from that, I'm going to try and get as much as possible in. So we'll go through the seeds and then we'll decide what we're going to do. Okay, so all of this is direct sow outdoors at this time of year. So I've got some red onions, courgettes, purple sprouting broccoli, two types of chard. I have already put this chard in one of the bigger beds and it's starting to come up now, but I haven't put the rainbow chard in. Some rainbow beetroot, which I've never tried before. I've only ever grown the normal one, so I'll get some of that in. Some dwarf kale, red cabbage, Brussels sprouts, some various types of lettuce, and there's my salad leaves and herbs. The stuff in the box, that's all stuff that can't be sown outdoors yet, and needs to wait until I get my seed compost delivered, which will hopefully be this coming week. So yeah, I'm gonna just have a think about where I want all this. I do have red cabbage and sprouts already growing in the greenhouse, and a couple of different varieties of courgette growing in the greenhouse. So I won't put too much of those in, just bits and pieces. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes, see what I can get in, what makes sense, and go from there. I just add as well, Alan at the Dawn Chorus plot, in one of my recent videos, asked me what the water supply was like down here. Currently I'm using tap water. That's what's supplied down here. We've all got hoses and things. So I know that's not the best thing to be using, so I had planned on getting a couple of water butts, because this water butt here is the old one. That's not been drained at all since I've been here, and I've been here for coming up a year now. The only problem is holding the shed up. So I can't move it and I can't drain it really, because the shed will go over, especially on a day like today when the wind can get up. So I was going to buy a couple of slimline water butts and potentially stick them here behind my greenhouse. This is just a piece of wasted land at the moment. I can't really do much with it, and I think having them there and the runoff from the greenhouse draining into them would be a good idea. So I'll get a couple of them at least down there, and hopefully that'll sort most of it come the summer. I've obviously always got the backup of the tap water, but when I build my shed as well, I might do it behind my shed as well, leave sort of like a 600mm gap behind the shed and just have a couple of more slim lines on the back, round the back of that. But that's probably an expense for next month, I would have thought, not right now. Okay, so I've planted 2 rows of onions, red baron, and I've planted 2 rows of the dwarf curly kale and a row of the rainbow beetroot. I held off on the chard because I do already have some chard in. So what I'm thinking of doing now is moving this unit out. It's a bit hot in here for the potatoes, so moving this unit out and sticking it in the front of my shed, because I've measured it up, it will fit, and then it's a bit cooler. Getting the rest of this rubbish out and then building some planters for this side of the greenhouse, because I'm going to grow a few tomato plants in here. I'll probably keep a couple of courgette plants in here, and the chilies and maybe some peppers as well. So I want to sort of start working that out today. I'll get this matting up on this side and build a frame. I don't think I'll be building the frame today, but maybe laying it out and having a measure up and seeing where it gets us, because I don't want to just use this as storage, obviously. So yeah, that's the next job. Okay, right, I didn't get very far with the beds in here yesterday, as you can see, doing some bits and pieces outside. So you can see now that I've got my potatoes, the buckets lined up where they're going to go. So in total now I've got 12. I'll probably use 6 for the main crop and 3 each for first earlies and second earlies. But luckily it doesn't take up as much bed space as I thought it would, so I've got another half a bed to play with there, so I'll put some sort of barrier up in between them probably, and then use the rest of that bed for something else. Now I'm also starting to harden my French breakfast radish off so I can get them out of the greenhouse, although they don't take up very much space. So the main aim obviously then for this morning is to get the beds done in here. I'll go back as far as possible here, but as far as is practical I'm going to come out probably past the line of the door, because I want to give myself as much space as possible. I'm going to make them quite wide. I know that won't give me much space in the middle, but to be honest I don't really need a lot of space in the middle. I'm just going to be walking up and down. So, you know, deeper the better, so I can get more stuff in. So enough chit chat, I better get on. Okay, so there's the frame done. Not exactly how I planned. I wasn't planning on separating this bit here, but this piece and the corner here were bowing inwards, so I had to put that to keep it out. But apart from that, I'm pretty happy. There's lots of growing space there, so I'm going to cut the membrane back, dig it over, and stick some compost in, I think.